Hello students, let's do lines and angles exercise 16b, page number 193, question 7. Find x, y and p in the given figures. So we have a complicated figure here, but let's go through it slowly and it's quite simple how we work out. Now we need to find x, y and p. So the first thing to do is think of all the properties that we can use. Now let's see if we can find out x first. Now here, if you can see all these angles here, we have x, we have 40 and the rest of it is 270. They're all angles around this point. You can see a point here. Now x is the angle in red, 40 degrees is the angle in green and 270 degrees is the whole angle in blue. And they're all angles around a point. And what do we know about angles around a point? We know that angles around a point equals 360 degrees. When you add up all three angles, it will add up to 360 degrees. So let's try that. That means x plus 40 degrees plus 270 degrees is equal to 360 degrees. So now from this, we can make this a linear equation and find the value of x. X plus 40 plus 270 is 310. So x plus 310 degrees is equal to 360 degrees. So now we can find the value of x by saying x is equal to 360 degrees minus 310 degrees, because I have transposed this 310 from the left hand side to the right. It's become minus because this is a linear equation. Now 360 minus 310 is 50. So we have x is equal to 50 degrees. So we have found the value of x. Now let's look at the lines. So now first thing we did was we looked at angles around a point. Now here there are two pairs of parallel lines. Now this is one and this is another. This is a pair of parallel lines. Now here we have this and this, which are another pair of parallel lines. Now first let's take these parallel lines, that is the one in red here and the one in red here. So we have two lines in red and these are parallel lines. And they are cut by a transversal. Okay, so the two lines are parallel, they are cut by a transversal. Can you see that blue line? Blue line is the line that has cut these two red lines. So the two red lines are parallel lines and the blue line is the transversal that has cut. Now in this case, we know the properties of parallel lines cut by a transversal, isn't it? Now look at angle x and look at angle z. So when lines are parallel and they are cut by a transversal, angles like x and z are corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are equal. So we say x is equal to z corresponding angles. And next we found out to be 50 degrees. So that means z is also 50 degrees. So z is equal to 50 degrees. So we have found the value of z to be 50 degrees. So what did we do here? We took the first pair of parallel lines and we saw that it was cut by this transversal, and then we saw x and z. They are corresponding angles. So we are able to find the value of z from that. Now let's look at the next pair of parallel lines. Now this is one parallel line, this is the other one. So we have this one in green and this in green. So the two green lines are the other two parallel lines. And here again they are cut by this transversal, which is blue. So the two parallel lines, if I extend it like this, if I extend it in both ways, this one moving this side and this one moving this side, they are cut by this transversal. So in this case, again we can apply the properties of parallel lines cut by a transversal. So now if you look, x plus 40 is this angle in red and z plus y is this angle in red, and they are corresponding angles. That means x plus 40 is equal to z plus y. So let's write that. X plus 40 is equal to z plus y because they are corresponding angles. So now let's substitute the values. Now how much is x? X we found out to be, and this is an equation, x we found out to be 50 degrees. Now we have plus 40 here. On the other side, z plus y, z we found out to be 50 degrees. and now we can find the value of y from this. Okay, so here this will be 50 plus 40 is 90 degrees. This is equal to 50 degrees plus y. So to find the value of y, we leave 90 on the other side and we move this 50 degrees. This 50 degrees. From this side, we're going to keep only y here. So I'm going to move 50 away from here. So when it goes to the other side, it becomes minus. So y is 90 degrees minus 50 degrees. So now we have found the value of y. Y is equal to 90 degrees minus 50, that is 40 degrees. So we have found the value of y also. Now we need to find the value of p. Now if you look at angle P and angle Z, the angles in blue, they are on the same straight line, isn't it? That means they are a linear pair of angles, and we know that a linear pair of angles will add up to 180 degrees. So here again, let's find the value of P. P plus Z. Z is how much? 50 degrees. P plus 50 degrees is 180 degrees. So now we can find the value of P. We can say P is equal to 180 degrees minus 50 degrees, because I'm transposing this 50 degrees from the left side to the right. So it becomes minus 50 degrees. So the value of P is equal to 180 minus 50, which is 130 degrees. So we have found the value of angle P also. So let's write down the values of all the angles that we have found out. Now we have found the value of x. X is equal to 50 degrees. Now y is equal to 40 degrees. Then we found the value of z. Z is equal to 50 degrees. And we also found the value of p. P is equal to 130 degrees. Question 2. Look at this figure given, and we have to find angles x, y, and p. Now the first thing we'll do is sum of angles on a straight line equals 180 degrees. Now look at this straight line in red. Can you see the straight line in red? Now what are all the angles on this straight line? Continuously here we have 25 degrees, P and 110 degrees. That means when you add up all three angles, they will add up to 180 degrees because they are angles on a straight line. So let's do that. Let's find the value of P from this. So that will be P plus 25 degrees plus 110 degrees. All this is equal to 180 degrees. So now we can find the value of P. P plus 110 plus 25 is 135. So that is equal to 180 degrees. Now let's find the value of P. So P will be equal to 180 degrees minus 135 degrees. Why is it so? Because we have transposed this 135 from the left hand side and we have moved it to the right. It's become minus 135 degrees. And that is equal to 45 degrees. So we have found the value of P. When you subtract 180 and 135, you get 45 degrees. So that is the value of P. Now here we have a pair of parallel lines. Let's look at them. So the line in blue, I have extended it a little more to make it easier for us to understand. And that we have another parallel line here. So we have two parallel lines and they are cut by a transversal, this purple line. The line in purple is the transversal that is cutting these two parallel lines. And we know the properties of parallel lines. So let's look at angles P and X. Angles P and X. P is here and X is here, and they are on these two parallel lines which are cut by the transversal. And if you look carefully, they are interior alternate angles. That means interior alternate angles are equal. So P will be equal to X because they are interior alternate angles. And P we know is 45. That means X is also 45 degrees. So X is equal to 45 degrees. So now we have found the value of P. P is 45 degrees. Now X is also 45 degrees. So now we have to find the value of Y. And Y is here. Now we have found X. Let's write X there. So the value of X is 45 degrees. We just need to find Y. Now, if you look carefully, this forms a triangle, isn't it? So this is a triangle, lightly shaded there. That's a triangle. And what do we know about properties of angles in a triangle? Sum of angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. That means if I add up these three angles, I will get 180 degrees. So angle Y plus 25 degrees plus 45 degrees will be equal to 180 degrees. So now let's find the value of y. Y plus 70 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So now what is the value of y? Y will be 180 minus 70, which is 110. So we have found the value of y also, which is 110. So let's write down all this. So x is equal to 45 degrees. Y is equal to 110 degrees. And P is equal to 45 degrees. Question 8. Find x in the following cases. So we have a few questions. This is the first one. So we have to find the value of x. Here I can see x and 2x. And now look out at the figure. Here we have two parallel lines cut by a transversal. So we have one line here and another line here, and they are parallel to each other, and they are cut by this transversal, this line in blue. So there are certain properties of parallel lines that are cut by transversals. Now, if you look at these two angles, 2x and x, you can see that they are inside these two parallel lines. They are called co-interior angles. And when two lines are parallel and they are cut by a transversal, co-interior angles are equal to 180. That means 2x plus x is equal to 180 because they are co-interior angles. Now, from this, we can find the value of x. 2x plus x is 3x. 3x, now this is an equation. 3x is equal to 180 degrees. Now we can find the value of x. X is equal to 180 degrees divided by 3, because I have taken the 3 from here and I have transposed it to the right hand side. It's multiplication on the left. When it comes to the right, it becomes division. Now I can cancel. 3 ones are 3. Now 3 sixes are 18 and a 0, 60 degrees. So we have found the value of x. X is equal to 60 degrees. So second figure is this. Again, here we have two parallel lines. This is one line and this is the other line in blue. So the lines in blue are the two parallel lines. It's cut by a transversal, which is a line in red. Now we have to find the value of x based on the properties of parallel lines cut by a transversal. Now look at this angle, 4x and 5x. There is no relation between them. So we need to find a way in which we can find some relation between them. So there are many ways of doing it. I can get one angle here, or I can get an angle here, or I can get an angle this side. So in any one of these sides I can get. So now I'm going to have a support angle opposite 5x. So I'm going to have an angle like this opposite 5x and I'm going to name it y. So now if you look carefully and see, 5x and y are vertically opposite angles, isn't it? And what do we know about vertically opposite angles? That they are equal. So y is equal to 5x. So let's write that 5x is equal to angle y. Okay, 5x is equal to angle y because they are vertically opposite angles. Now we can find the value of 4x here because 4x and y together will be co-interior angles. Can you see that now? 4x and y are co-interior angles. And what do we know about co-interior angles? Co-interior angles are supplementary, or they add up to 180 degrees. So 4x plus y is equal to 180 degrees. 4x plus y will add up to 180 degrees because they are co-interior angles. And what is the value of y? Here we said angle y is equal to 5x. So let's substitute for y. Let's write 5x. So this will be 4x plus 5x is equal to 180 degrees. How did I get 5x? This y we said is equal to this one, 5x here. That's how we got 5x here. Now let's continue. 4x plus 5x is 9x. 9x is equal to 180 degrees. Now we can find the value of x. X is equal to 180 degrees divided by 9 because we have transposed 9 to the right hand side. So now let's cancel. 9 ones are 9. Here 9 twos are 18 and 0. X is equal to 20 degrees. So we have found the value of x here, and x is equal to 20 degrees. So for question 2, the answer is 20 degrees. This is question 3. So this is question 3. This is question 3. So here also we have two parallel lines. Let's see. The one in red is the first line and the other in red is the second line. So these are two parallel lines which are cut by a transversal, that is the line in green. Now again here in this case also we have to find the value of x, but we have no relation between this x here and this 4x here. So we need to get the help of another angle. So here also let's consider another angle. So we have taken another angle here and let's name this angle y. This angle is y. So now if you look carefully, x and y are vertically opposite angles, isn't it? And what do we know about vertically opposite angles? They are equal. So let's write that. Angle x is equal to angle y because they are vertically opposite angles. Now it's easy for us to find the value of this 4x and y because they are inside and they are called co-interior angles. So now as you can see, y and 4x are co-interior angles. That means co-interior angles are equal to 180 degrees. So 4x plus y is equal to 180 degrees and y we know is equal to x. So let's substitute that value and write. So this will be 4x plus x. So instead of y we are writing x because it says it's equal. Angle y is equal to x. So 4x plus x is equal to 180 degrees. Now 4x plus x means 1x is 5x. 5x is equal to 180 degrees. Now we can find the value of x. We can say 180 degrees divided by 5. So let's divide that. 180 divided by 5. 5 threes are 15 minus 3 and then you bring down the 0, it's 30. 5 sixes are 30. So now we have got our quotient. Our quotient is 36. So we have found the value of x. X is equal to 36. So this is our answer, 36 degrees. So this is our answer. So question 4, we have this figure here and we have some parallel lines. So let's see what are the parallel lines that we are going to look into. So we are going to look into this parallel line. Can you see one line here, one purple line, and this one more purple line here. I've extended it a little. So these are two parallel lines that we are going to look into and they are cut by a transversal here and a transversal here. Now we need to know this transversal. Okay, so we have two parallel lines cut by a transversal. Now here you can see this angle and this angle here, isn't it? So these two are co-interior angles. That means co-interior angles are equal to 180 degrees. If I take this angle and I add it up, my answer should be equal to 180 degrees. So let's do that. So we have 2x plus 5 degrees plus 3x plus 55 degrees. That should be equal to 180 degrees because they are co-interior angles. So now let's remove the brackets. So this will be 2x plus 5 degrees plus 3x plus 55 degrees. And all this is equal to 180 degrees. Now take only the x terms together. We have 2x plus 3x. 2x plus 3x is 5x. So let me write that 5x. Now let's take the numbers alone. So here we have 5 degrees and here we have 55 degrees plus 55. So when you add up both, you get 55 plus 5 is 60. So that is plus 60 degrees. This is equal to 180 degrees. So now we're going to find the value of only 5x. So I'm going to leave only 5x here. On the right hand side, I have 180 degrees. I'm going to transpose this 60 degrees from the left to the right. So it's going to become minus 60 degrees. Now 5x is equal to 180 minus 60 is 120 degrees. So now we're going to find the value of x alone. X is equal to 120 degrees divided by 5. 120 divided by 5 is 24. So now we have found the value of x. X is equal to 24 degrees. So the answer here is this, 24 degrees. Question 5, again we have parallel lines. Let's look out for them. So this one in blue and this one in blue, they are a pair of parallel lines. They are cut by a transversal. So the line in red is the transversal. So now we have to find the value of x. Now here this angle here and this angle, again there is no relation between them. So we need the help of another angle. So let's consider this angle in red as angle y. So this will be angle y. Now look at angle y and this angle. They are vertically opposite each other. That means 3x plus 25 is equal to y, or y is equal to 3x plus 25. So let's write that. So 3x plus 25 is equal to angle y because they are vertically opposite angles. Now look at these two angles. Angle y and angle 2x plus 20. Now both these angles are co-interior angles, and co-interior angles are equal to 180 degrees. So let's write that 2x plus 20 plus angle y is equal to 180. Now we can substitute this y with 3x plus 25 because y is equal to that much. So let's write that. So that will be 2x plus 20 degrees. So this is one angle plus another angle, that is y, and y is equal to this. So that is 3x plus 25 degrees. These are two angles and they add up to 180 degrees. So now let's remove the brackets. 2x plus 20 degrees plus 3x plus 25 degrees. This is equal to 180 degrees. Now let's take only the x terms together. So 2x and plus 3x. 2x plus 3x is 5x. Plus, let's take the numbers. That is 20 plus 25. 20 plus 25 is 45. So that is 45 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Now let's find the value of only 5x. 5x will be equal to 180 degrees minus 45 degrees. So 5x is equal to 135 degrees when you minus these two numbers. Now let's find the value of only x. X is equal to 135 degrees divided by 5. So you can divide 135 by 5 and you will get 27 degrees. So we have found the value of x. X is equal to 27 degrees. Question 6. Now look at this figure. Now here there are a pair of parallel lines. Let's see which those are. This line in blue and this line in blue. They are a pair of parallel lines. Now do we have a transversal? That means do we have a line that is cutting both these lines? Now we have a line here, but it's cutting only this line, but it's not touching this line. Similarly, here also we have this line touching only this line. It's not touching the other line. So that means we don't have a transversal. So in that case, we have to draw one more parallel line right in the middle like this. Now these two can be considered as parallel lines and these two can be considered as parallel lines because for these two lines, this will be the transversal, and for these two lines, this will be the transversal. So now we have a pair of parallel lines here and a pair of parallel lines there. Now let's see what's given to us. We have 4x, 130 degrees and 6x, and we have been asked to find the value of x. Now taking these two parallel lines, we have to have something in common here. Now 4x and this angle, that is the two angles in red, are corresponding angles. So we can call this angle 1. So this will be angle 1. That means 4x and angle 1 are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are equal. So here angle 1. So here we have angle 1 is equal to 4x because they are corresponding angles. Now similarly, this angle here and 6x are corresponding angles. So let's name this angle as angle 2. So angle 2 and 6x are corresponding angles and corresponding angles are equal. So here we have angle 2 is equal to 6x because they are corresponding angles. Now angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 130 degrees, which is already given to us. So let me say that again. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 130 degrees. So let's write that down. Angle 1. So this is angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 130 degrees. And how much is angle 1? Angle 1 is 4x. So I can write that here. So 4x plus, now how much is angle 2? Angle 2 is 6x. So I can write that plus 6x will be equal to 130 degrees. So now we can work this out. 4x plus 6x is 10x. 10x is equal to 130 degrees. Now I can find the value of x alone. X is equal to 130 degrees divided by 10. So we can cancel the zeros here, and what we get is simply 13 by 1 or 13 degrees. So we have found the value of x. X is equal to 13 degrees. So this is our answer. So with this, children, we come to the end of this exercise. Thank you, children.